Good afternoon, everybody. This is Harmeet from SigmaPix. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to be going over the three indexes slash ETFs that we watch, look at, and keep count on: SPY, QQQ, and IWM. And let's just get going. Just a quick review. We were kind of in this area last time we were here. I was talking about, and what I was discussing was that we are starting to be more bullish as we try to tackle 448 and 458, 457 area. Okay, and the idea was that if it gets to up to there, that there could be a great case made that the fourth primary wave is over and we are in the first wave of fifth wave. Okay, so first wave of fifth wave, and the fifth is the primary wave that we were talking about, and we kind of have our answers at this point. It's just we know it has. So first of all, let's just quickly go over the characteristic of this move specifically. It's a high momentum move, okay, and that is one of the major characteristics of first wave and also the fifth wave. They kind of tend to be analogous of each other, and it also kind of differentiate itself from being still being in considered being under some sort of correction is because it went over the last X wave. Okay, that was the last correction that we saw. Okay, and now we are kind of over it, and you can probably see that we are forming some sort of pattern here, also harmonic pattern. So everything is kind of coming together, and there was a big news today that Russia may be not be so focused on Kiev and maybe pulling some of its troop back. It didn't say that it was a ceasefire, but it was saying that they were going to pull some troop backs. So we saw this gap up over because of it over a major pivot. Okay, this is a major pivot. So whenever you see a gap up over a major pivot like this, there are a few things that you need to know. Okay, the first is that this could be an exhaustive gap. A second, that it could also be a gap that springboards you forward towards the confirmation that we are in the fifth wave and going to go hit all-time high. We are not that far away from it at this point, and everything we had discussed in the previous video kind of helped us get to a point where we can say that while everybody else was extremely bearish, we knew the price action, we knew some good criteria to go on to say, yeah, we are bullish and we are kind of in the same zone. So fourth wave, I've kind of left it there, the fourth primary wave. I'm still gonna leave it there for a little bit. I have not gone ahead and put a count here because I think for anybody, there are a lot of, again, there are a lot of people out there that are just like, yeah, this is what it is, and they can be wrong, so can I. So you have to take it in grain of salt. And so why I haven't put a count on there's a few things. It does not matter what the count is until we see the pullback. Okay, the pullback will give us more information about if we are actually done with the fifth wave. That it's not the rise, okay, it's the pullback that tells you and gives you more information. How deep is the pullback? What fib level is it at? Did it hold? How well did it get picked up? Was there volume that you saw that came in? Okay, at this point, was there footprint that was telling you, hey, you know what? There's a lot of people buying here. Are there dark pool data? Your options data. So all of that information on the pullback is the one that confirms that this was actually the first wave and not just a correction off of this Y wave into something else. Okay, so that being said, now the exciting part is that everything that has to be priced in, I feel like already has been priced in. So markets are forward looking. That means markets are saying that 4 or 5 months down the line, we will most likely get through this 479, 479.98 level and go on to make a all-time high. This level right here, the confirmation level. Do expect pullback, okay? If we do go straight, expect a pullback because we want to see the pullback. The first move through this level, expect it to come back just like we're seeing right here. Okay, just expect that move to be sold into, like we are again seeing right here. This move is getting sold into, so that's why I'm saying this pullback matters. The pullbacks matter more than actual run itself. When we went through here, okay, this last pivot of 448, we got a pullback, but it wasn't so deep. Okay, that is what matters. We went through it the second time. We got a pullback, but this time it held this level, the 448 level. Okay, now we're seeing a pullback through the next pivot, which is 458 and 457 zone, and we're seeing a pullback. So these pullbacks matter more than actual run. And I think we've pretty much drilled that home at this point. So let's watch how this pullback develops. Let's see if there's a pause in SPY. But for all extensive purposes, all the data that I am getting, there's some stuff that I'm not showing you guys because there's proprietary studies that I run, that I've written myself, that are statistical based, that are also showing that bearishness is kind of receding and receding fast. So just be mindful of that. Just know that we are a little extended. Just know that also we are also above a major pivot. There could be a pause, and this gap can be filled. So just be aware of all those things. But for now, it's extremely bullish. We do have a 5-wave structure, okay, where the third wave, it looks like we are going to be bigger or larger than the first wave, and the fifth wave can now extend as far as it wants, as long as the third wave right here. So let me just point out 1, 2, well, let's just clear up this one so we can actually see what I'm writing. So this is your first, second, third, fourth, and we're in the fifth wave right now. Okay, and that can run as far as it wants because, again, like I said, this third wave right here is larger than this first wave, this move up. Okay, we still have to prove it. Okay, starts right here. We still have to prove it. And actually, let's just do it right now. Let's see if we can prove it. And so we're just going to go. And yes, we are. Okay, so that's not what I want to do. I want to do expansion. So that didn't really prove much. Okay, here we are. So we are looking at this right here. Okay, this line right here, and it is expanded from this last low, and is saying that it is at least 38% greater than the first wave. So we've proved the fact that this is now has that 5-wave structure. Okay, now the fifth wave can run as long as it wants, as long as the third wave is not the shortest wave. So I'll put a count out, an official count out, within the next few days. I think it's important to see how this pullback develops. Okay, that's where we can say the first wave is over and we're into the money wave. Until that pullback occurs, that is significant. The second wave at least from this, it should just be a zigzag. It should be a simple pullback. It should be where we should see people piling in and saying, "We got to pull back. Things are bullish. Let's go. Let's 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 get going and let's make some money." So, okay, a lot. I guess we said a lot for bus buy. Let's quickly go to QQQ. Same difference. Okay, we are in this fourth wave zone. The 371, 370 area, it does need to get through it. We do need to see it kind of, yes, we're getting a pause there. That is expected. I need to see it go through it and to confirm that second cycle, super cycle is over and the A cycle is actually the C. So this moves over. In my last video, I had kind of gone over how this specific area right here, okay, this is also end of the fifth wave, and this could be a B and this could be a C right here, and that would end the cycle. So we're still in kind of in that same mode. We don't have as clear of an answer as we did in SPY, but the things are that the markets are moving in unison. So they are moving together, they're moving higher, they're going through some major pivots, they're going through major, they have all, at least for Qs and SPYs, they have gone through major resistance zones. Okay, this 366 is a major resistance zone, and this is a major pivot, 371, 370 area. Once it gets through that, we can also say that this is the first wave of a larger third cycle, which is huge. Okay, that means Qs are going to be rocking. And what is happening with the world, as world is getting digitized and has been over the last decade or so, the Qs are where the major technology stocks lie, and that's why it's this is the money way, because the world over is going to be changing. Everybody and everything is going to be rising. The companies that are doing the best right now are in the Qs. Your Teslas, your Apples, your Amazons. These companies are, especially Tesla. They are the future. Tesla being, it's kind of coming into its own, and now it has started to take up larger market share and so forth. So it's just not a car company, and it is an engineering, it is a technology company also. So, but that's a whole other story. I digress from that. But the point being, the Qs will give you that alpha like it has in the past, versus where SPYs and IWMs will go along, but may not give you as much of a return as Qs, and they've shown that in the past. So you guys can go back and look at it in the last decade or so, and just have the idea of, okay, you want to continue to monitor this. So Qs are really exciting. This is this is where we're gonna make lots of money, the third wave coming in. So let's see how this develops. Let's say, there have been a huge pullbacks in a lot of companies and Qs that may be getting ready. Anything that survives, from this pullback, it may zoom. Will it survive? I'm not sure how well it will go, but Twillo's, the Squares, any of these companies that survive, Netflix, any of these companies that have survived the pandemic and the pullback will also be the ones leading the way. So the leaders will emerge, and they will get us going towards, I think we hit 500, 600, that in the next few years. So let's see how this goes. I think it may be a 100% gain from here on out too. So that gets us to about 700, 750. So a lot to be said about the third wave. It's a huge thing. It's a huge deal. Let's see how the second wave develops. And we are getting to a point where we can say, as soon as we start seeing and go to the last major pivot point and start tackling these major areas for 400, 390 areas, we can say, we can start looking at this 425 and 450 hopefully by the end of the year. Okay. Yeah, lots going on, lots going on. Okay, so let's go to our next chart, IWM, and uh, yeah, the thing that we were also discussing was that, this is great. It got the second, we know it's in the second wave, but as soon as it gets up here, we're going to be back into this congested area. And the number to watch was the last fourth wave, and the value zone was 209. We're going through it today. Okay, we did gap up over the last, we did not, again, this actually, so let's quickly look at this. So this right here, if we end up holding this 209.05 pivot from the last fourth wave, if we somehow end up holding it, this is your gap and go. This is very important because this is one of, this is the, at least the way I have it, the 207.21 is the bottom of the Darvis box. It is an important area. It had tried to go through it twice. It failed, but we gapped over it and we are over this major pivot. And that means that we can start looking, if it starts moving towards, starts moving higher, start giving us these, bullish zones to work with, bullish triangles, pennants, anything, we can expect it to go test at least this 227.13 pivot, and if not, maybe the top of the Darvis box. Of course, the major confirmation is 244, and if we get through that, we do know that we're also in the money wave. Okay, we are in the money wave, money cycle for IWM, and then we can expect it to go, 280, 300 if that keeps going and we have confirmation. For now, all we have is just the fact that we are back into this congested area with high volume that, we were in for a year or so. And it's, other than that, that's pretty much it. I can't get super excited about IWM, but I am excited about the fact that it is moving along with the markets. It's not dying off. Okay, it's not going the other way. It's not pausing. Those were the first signs that the market may go into a correction, was because IWM was not in unison with the rest of the markets. Okay, the IWM meaning SPY and QQQ. Okay, so we have made some sort of thesis and we have an understanding of where we think things will go. So let's see how this develops. We'll come back to it. We'll label all of these things, and we'll get some nice trades out of IWM, which tends to have really high beta stocks. I hope this helps. Thank you so much for tuning in. I just really, really like to thank all the people that have taken the time this far and been watching it. I wouldn't be doing it unless for you guys and, of course, myself. Thank you so much. Have a great afternoon. Bye bye.